Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already, we're live. And as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be going over more collision in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. I did go over this last stream as well, but I didn't like completely understand the concept. So today I am going to be working with collision and a few collision event type stuff. That's it. Let's go to my gameplay screen. Okay, how you doing? While I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, and I actually forgot to get my Unreal Engine up here as well. Something seems kind of missing, guys. Why do I see my background from the side? Okay, so let me go to my content drawer real quick and load my practice map, because this time I didn't have my practice map saved type stuff. That's it. Let's open my Visual Studio 2. There we go. Okay, I was thinking that something was looking missing. Okay, let's get this back here. And let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here as well. And say something like, Sensei, I'm live! Exclamation. Okay, and guys, if I can't talk properly right now, it is because I'm not warmed up just yet. That's it, let's see. And guys, I hope the chat is not laggy, because I've been using this chat for like 3 or 4 streams now. That said, focus people, we're live. Stream just started, and this is not a casual hangout. This is a forge. You've already fought movement, gravity, jumping, and collision. Most people quit. Okay, let's say something like, let's say today I want to go over collision events. Like, I want to actually display some kind of UE log when they collide, and then later I'll add like more logic depending, like every time I collide, like my health bar decreases and stuff. That's a good collision event. This is where objects stop being decorations and start having consequences. Focus people, one step at a time, no skipping, or your brain will tangle itself first. Okay, first, what collision events actually mean? No magic, no mysticism. In Unreal, collision has 2 big ideas. Blocking, you shall not pass. Character stops. Physics pushes back. Okay, physics pushes back, I see. Overlap events. Hey, something touched me. Nothing stops but code fires. Today we care about overlap events, I see. Second, what must exist for an overlap event to fire? All 4 of these must be true. Miss one and nothing happens. A collision component, not the mesh. A box, a sphere, or a capsule. I see. Okay, generate overlap events. True. Both objects collision enable Curie only, or Curie and physics. Okay, this was the part that I couldn't enable. Collision responses match. One side must say I overlap you, not block, not ignore. This is why people feel collision. No events. They block instead of overlap. Third, your meat felt partially collided. I see. This is important. Pay attention. You did this. Static mesh has a simple collision. Box collision overlaps only part of it. Result character blocks only the mesh. Overlap events hits only the box, so your body feels contact, but the event is tiny. This is normal, not a bug rule. Block with one component, overlap with a different component. I think I see. Fourth, correct setup for your meat actor. Mental model, use static mesh component, collision block, all, okay. Purpose, physical presence, I see. U-box component, collision enable. QE only, collision response, overlap on. Purpose, trigger logic, 2 jobs, 2 components, no confusion. Fifth, what an overlap event actually gives you. Okay, I know what it actually gives me. Important score, listen carefully. You did not edit collision by double clicking code randomly, you declare components. Okay, and guys, just to like save tab, I did not create a new project today. I am using like the project from like yesterday type stuff. So like this is my yesterday's project, where I do have like my dragons mesh up here that has like a camera attached to it. There we go. That's like my camera right here. And I have my meat somewhere here as well. Let's see. Okay, wait, did I not save my meat? Let me go ahead and load it again. If I were to go to C/C++ classes, there we go. In my meals, I might go with something like my meats is mesh. There we go. Okay, let's go with a static mesh. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now, I want to go ahead and get this a bit higher. Click R and scale this to be a bit smaller. There we go. Okay, this should be good. Let's go ahead and hit W again. Now, I gotta go ahead and actually add a collision for my meat. So I'm gonna go all the way here. And then let's increase my details displays here. There we go. Now, I gotta go ahead and create a box, but I'm assuming static mesh already has a box. Let's go with something like collision. Okay, so I have physics material override. I have character setup, collision part. Let me increase this There we go. Let's see. So is there like a query stuff? Okay, maybe I'll go with something like query QUE. Okay, that is not here. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's just for boxes type stuff. Generate overlap events. I think I should set this to be true. Simulate. Okay, wait, let me get Sensei slash chat GPT up here real quick. I have a quick question. I mean, not a quick question. I want to like look one thing up here because I'm pretty sure that Sensei said that I gotta, what should we call it? Okay, go with overlap events. So I need overlap events. Okay, collision enabled equals to query only or query and physics. I see generate overlap events is going to be set to true. Collision response is going to be match. So I gotta go ahead and set this to be true. Okay, let's go ahead and set that to be true. And then can characters step on okay, I think I see. And then I have multi-body overlap. Okay, yo, how you doing, Chong? I appreciate you joining the stream. Or is your name pronounced as Chong? Chong. I think that's how you pronounce it, guys. I'm awful at name pronunciations. That's it, Hiding Pixels. I appreciate you joining the stream as well. Are you making a game? Honestly, I am like working on the collision. I'm not like specifically making an actual game this stream, but I am like working on the basics towards it. For example, I'm working on collision this stream and like collision event type stuff. Eventually, this is like my final day for my C++ 400 series. Then I'm going to be trying to master or like understand Unreal Engine a bit better and then move on to Python and C++ at the same time. So I could work with AI logic and game logic too. That said, I might actually add another component here. Let's go ahead and add something like, I don't know, maybe, let's see, maybe a box component. So I might go with something like a collision box. Now my collision box is definitely going to be having, let's say, a collision. Okay, there we go. Let's go with something like collision. Now, for my collision, my meat is an actor. Is it an actor? Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an actor. Okay, so it says something like physics meteor override, simulate, generate hit events. Okay, what happens if I set that to true? Okay, then I do see a query only here, but I can't actually go with that. Under my collision presets, I can't enable anything. Okay, so overlap dynamic, let's go with something like overlap all. Should I go with overlap all or like block all? Okay, maybe I try going with something like overlap all. Okay, because I'm pretty sure I gotta go with block all. But then there's query here that I can't actually touch. There's overlap, there's block. Can I change this part in code? I could try changing it in code. World static, I see. Okay, let me get Sensei slash chat GPT. Wait, are you Indian? Honestly, I haven't like been to India yet, but I'm really excited someday to visit it. Okay, that's it. Let me say something. Let me get Sensei here and say something like, let's go with Sensei. I feel like I missed. Is missed a correct word? I missed a small detail. So in my meetsys class, let's say when I create when I add a collision box, from my details window, I set my, okay, what did I set to be block all? I'm pretty sure it was, let's see. Okay, I set my collision presets to be block all. Let's go with something like I set my collision presets to be a block all. Okay, but I cannot select, okay, anything under it. Let's go with something like select anything under that. I see, okay, what do I see under my block all? Let's see. Okay, let's go all the way up here. So I see something like collision enabled, query and physics. I see a drop down, but I cannot touch that. Only used for spatial queries. I see. Okay, I'll just say I cannot like select anything under that. So let's go with something like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, stop. This is a very good catch, and also the exact detail that confuses 90% of people. Breathe. You did not break anything. You just ran into Unreal's collision rules. Now listen carefully. Why you cannot select anything after setting block all? When you set collision presets to block all, Unreal is saying, I will decide everything for you, hands off. So collision enabled gets locked, responses gets locked, query options gets locked. This is intentional. Presets are macros, not suggestions. The core mistake, very common, not stupid. You set your collision box to block all, but a collision box used for events should not block. Blocking equals to physical stop, overlap. Overlap equals to logical signal. You asked it to be a wall, then asked it to talk. I see walls don't talk. What you should do in the details panel step by step. Select your collision box, find collision presets, change it from block to custom. Oh, I see. Now it unlocks this aha moment. Now set collision enable to query only, generate overlap events to be checked, pawn to be overlap, everything else ignore. I see. Okay. Why your static mesh can still block alt. Okay, I think I see. That actually makes so much more sense. Okay, so let's go to something like my block all. I'm gonna go ahead and change it to something like custom. Now I can actually change stuff here. Let's go with something like query only. Okay, did I have to like set it something like query only, guys? Okay, because this says query only. I think I see two query onlys. One is query only. Oh wait, I think there's just one. There we go. And then what was the second thing? I had to set my pawn to be something. So guys, it'd be so much better if I could like have this in my other window. Generate overlap events is gonna be checked. Pawn is gonna be overlap. I see. Okay, so I think I gotta go ahead and type something like generate. Okay. There we go. Do I see generate overlap events? There we go. It's set to tick. And then if I were to go with something like pawn. Okay, I do not see a pawns as option, but I did see everything else. Let's close this up real quick. Click my meets, go with something like W. Okay, now let's go ahead and get Synthase/ChatGPT up here, but I just realized this is my box. My box is not surrounding my meet just yet, so let me go ahead and maybe select it real quick because I gotta like set its position. So I'm gonna go with something like box. Let's go with something like meets and my box. Now I want to go ahead and change its position a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag this here, and guys, let me know if this is kind of laggy because I've realized that my whatchamacallit, when I'm in my Unreal Engine, it might be a bit laggy. Is it? Oh, for some reason it is a bit laggy. There we go. Let's just go ahead and increase this size a bit. Let's go ahead and increase that from here. Okay, this should be pretty much it. There we go. Maybe I increase it a bit from here. Okay, perfect. Now let's go with something like W. This should actually work. Okay, and guys, I don't know like why. Is there like some kind of Unreal setting that makes it less laggy for my stream? Because I feel it is a bit laggy in my stream. Okay, open its blueprint. I could actually go ahead and open this, but I did not like create a blueprint for it. I could actually do that real quick. Let me close this real quick though. Let's go ahead and close that. There we go. Okay, now I gotta go ahead and open its blueprint so I can go up here, right click it. Actually, in my content drawer, I could go ahead and right click this and let's type something like blueprint. But I feel like I prefer doing it like, okay, let's go with create blueprints. Maybe I want to go ahead and add that in a blueprints class. Let's go with something like save. Oh, that's huge. There we go. Okay, now inside my blueprints class, should I actually do something? But before that, I want to go ahead, real-time viewport. I want to make it a bit less laggy for my stream. I feel like it's kind of laggy on my stream, guys. Let me know if it actually is. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and move a bit to the left. Now, inside my blueprints, let's see. I could go ahead and add something like, let's go with something like a box collision, but I feel like I've already added that stuff. I just want to see how it like actually works here, because I feel like it's going to be working exactly the same way. Okay, let's go with something like y-axis. Okay, and then let's go with something like R. Go ahead and increase it. Okay, and then let's go with something like W again. Go there. Okay, no, you made it C++ class. I see. I mean, usually don't we like do it with the class stuff, because I feel like I prefer the programming section of this part. But that said, I do want to learn how to use blueprints too. Okay, let's go here. Let's go with something like R. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and increase it from here. There we go. That should be pretty good, right? Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, what have you done so far? Honestly, someone did like say me to open the blueprints, but before I go to the blueprint section, I do have my project settings here where I actually like set my meets as class, and now I'm going to be working with a few collision details type stuff. That said, let's go all the way up here. Okay, let's see. I want to go ahead and open my class in C++ now. Wait, I just had like a random class. Isn't this like my meets as class? There we go. Let's go with classes here. Okay, I just have a dragons as class, so my previous class did not save. So let's go ahead and delete this part real quick. Okay, let's go to something like tools, go to new class. I want to go ahead and get a actor class. Let's go with something like next, call it something like meet actor. There we go. Okay, the name meet actor is already used by a class. Okay, let's just go with something like meet underscore actor. So I'm gonna go with something like meet underscore actor. Okay, perfect. Hey, what's this game about? Honestly, I am just working on the collision logic of the game, so it's not like a specific game, but I do want to add a few collision events when two things actually hit each other. Okay, you want to make it as a player character, I mean meet or what? I want it to be like, a kind of static object that does not actually move until actually it does not move, but my dragon object that I already created, I want it to like, collide with my meat, and every time it does collide, I want to say something like HP increased by 50 or something using a UE log. That said, this is where my project settings are going to be saved. So let's wait for it to save real quick. There we go. Okay, now once it's saved, I'm going to go ahead and exit this part. Let's go to my code here, load all real quick. And while I'm doing that, I might actually eat something because I am kind of starving. Okay, so this is my class. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Let's go ahead. Okay, I do actually have my... Okay, I have my meet actor.header files and my... I don't have my meet actor.c++ files. I could go with Control-Alt-F11. Actually, Control-Alt-L to get my Solution Explorer here. I'm assuming I gotta right-click this and... let's say I don't want to open it in File Explorer. I remember there was something like a C++ option here. Okay, don't say my meat, bro. Honestly, guys, that does actually sound kind of weird. That's it. Let's see. Do I see my... let's go with something like... let's go ahead and increase that. Go to something like source. Okay, so I see something like my projects. Under my projects. Okay, let's go with something like my actor. Do you guys see somewhere the meet actor? So let's see. Okay, I see my project. My project.build C++. I'm trying to find the meet actor.c++. Let's see. Okay, there's an underscore. There we go. Right here. Okay, I was just trying to find this code because like a code was missing from up there. Okay, that's it. Now once I'm done finding this thing, is there something else that I need to do? If I were to open my Unreal Engine here real quick, and then I go to something like my content drawer, I have my meet actor up here. All I gotta do is add it to my Solution Explorer here, maybe delete this. Okay, might force delete it. Okay, just delete it. Okay, I think I can delete this from my classes. Isn't there a way to delete stuff from classes? Can I go ahead and search something like delete? Okay, apparently we cannot delete from our classes. But I didn't actually want to delete it. I'm just going to go to my class up here and then go ahead and add stuff. Let me go ahead and extend that real quick. I want to go ahead and add a box collision to it. Let's go with something like a box collision. But before my box collision, I want to add a static mesh. I already have a mesh. I just need to add a PNG to it. Actually, a mesh to it. I already have like a static mesh here. I gotta add my... I think it's OLB mesh. Guys, I don't know what am I actually listing. Okay, let's go with something like meet. I don't know what is this called. I forgot the file name. It was called something like... let's go to my content drawer. Under content. Okay, it's called GLB. There we go. My blenders is GLB meshes. Let's go up here. And guys, the reason I did like have it to be GLB mesh and not like FBX is because FBX apparently did not have like... it did not load textures inside Unreal Engine. It was just like... just textureless meshes. That's next up. Let's go with something like box. I'm gonna go with something like box collision. Okay, let's just decrease this from here a bit. Let's go there, click box. Now I'm gonna go a bit higher so I can get a better view of this. Let's move this a bit here. Honestly, before I work with my box, I want to decrease the size of the meat mesh. There we go. Let's go with something like R. I feel like it's too big. Let's decrease it. There we go. Okay, that should be a pretty decent size. And then let's go with my box mesh again here. I'm gonna go ahead and increase the size a bit. Let's increase it. Now I'll click something like W to move its location. Let's get that a bit there. Okay, and then I'm gonna hit R again. Let's increase it there. Okay, I think that should be good for my box collision. Maybe I want to like decrease it a little from back here. Okay, let's go with something like that. Now I want to go ahead and maybe go with something like W, get it a bit back, and then just decrease the scale a bit because I feel like it's a bit too long. There, that should be good. I feel that should be good. Let's go with something like W, get it a bit back. There, okay, I think that's good for collision. Okay, do you have a chicken leg? Guys, I think chicken leg is kind of crazy. I feel like my leg is pretty bulked up. Actually, that was kind of a joke. I like, what you call it? I like rarely work out these days, honestly. Let's see. Let's go ahead and decrease this up real quick. So there we go. Okay, go to meet static mesh viewer for the uniform scale. Decrease the size to 0.05. Oh, okay, I could try that. Okay, let's go to meet static mesh. Okay, viewer. Okay, in my viewer. Wait, viewer. Okay, 100. Let's see. Go to meet static mesh viewer. Search for uniform scale. I don't actually see the viewer here. Is it like in my details tab? Because I see a scale here. Can I type something like viewer? Okay, I cannot. Should I go to like my viewing port? I love your streams. Can you also stream on Twitch, please, in horizontal format? Honestly, I do like stream on Twitch and Kick as well. Like, the link is in the description for my Twitch. Let's see. Okay, so how do I go to my viewer here? Let's see. Okay, this is perspective. Let's go with something like Control Z real quick. Okay, guys, did I like mess something up? Maybe I go ahead and go back to my meets this mesh. There we go. Okay, let's go with Control Shift Z if that actually works. Okay, Control Shift Z does not work. Or does it not? I think it's too big. Open static mesh. Open my static mesh. Okay, so this... Is this my viewer? There we go. I think this is my viewer. And then I gotta go ahead and search for uniform scale. So I'm gonna go with something like uniform scale. Okay, I see something like a GPU uniform distribution. Okay, what's good, bro? How you doing, Sprongle? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, did I have to go to uniform mesh here? Because this still feels like details. How do you go to viewer? Is it somewhere in like editor? I'm pretty sure not. Should I go to something like window? I see a viewport here. Is like viewer the same as viewport? Okay, uniform mesh. So did I just like miss it? Okay, maybe I go back to my content drawer here. Let's go a bit up. Okay, am I missing something here? Am I missing something? Let me think. So, I have a meat mesh. I have a box. Is there something that I'm not doing? Great work, man. Honestly, I appreciate you, Abhishek. Okay, search scale. Oh, okay. In my viewer, I could go with something like scale. There we go. Okay, so I gotta change my build scale to be something like from 1 to 0.05. Okay, let's go ahead and change to 0.05. There we go. Okay, now if I were to go to my practice map here, hit something like, is it small enough? Control Alt F11 to compile my code real quick. I mean, I could actually have compiled it from like back here. Whoops, let's open my Unreal Engine real quick. I could have compiled it from back here as well. Save this asset. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. Let's go to practice map. Okay, is this small enough now? I mean, it does still feel kind of big. Okay, I mean, I don't think it's as big. Let me run the code real quick. Okay, I mean, it's not too small, but it's kind of big actually. Okay, wait. I think I'm in my Dragon. Click on click on re-import mesh. Okay, let's hit something like escape. Click on re-import mesh. Do I say a re-import mesh here? Let's go with something like re-import. Oh wait, I think that should be in my viewer here. Let's go with something like re-import. Okay, click on re-import mesh. I don't think I actually see that here. Is re-import mesh somewhere? Let's see in my meshes settings. Let me go ahead and extend this real quick. Okay, but pretty sure it shouldn't be in my details. Should I go in my content drawer and like re-import it manually? I could try that. Let's go to my content drawer. Firstly, I gotta always save everything. Let's go ahead and save it all. Go to my C/C++ project, go to classes. This is my meet actor. I might delete this real quick. Actually, I might just remove my mesh for the time being. Okay, wait, can I see the re-import mesh somewhere here? Let's go with something like re-import. Okay, I don't see it. Okay, maybe I could just like manually scale it down. Okay, because I feel like even though it is not as big, but I feel like it would be much better if it's like a bit smaller. In static mesh viewer. Wait, in static meshes viewer. Okay, this is my static meshes viewer. Re-import mesh. I did try typing it up here. I see socket manager. Oh, there we go. Re-import mesh. Okay, perfect. Now let's go to something like practice. Has it been re-imported? Because it still feels kind of big. Okay, maybe I go up here. Let's go with something like R. Maybe decrease the size a little. There we go. Let's go with something like W. Get it a bit higher. Okay, let's hit something like Control Alt F11 real quick to compile my code real quick. There we go. Okay, once it's done, I'm going to go ahead and run the code. I feel like my mesh wouldn't be as big now. How's it like still kind of big? Let's go ahead and go all the way up real quick. Because I feel like I made it real small, but I think it's gotta be like a bit smaller. Okay, let's go somewhere there. Okay, is that like smaller? Okay, let's go with something like W, get you a bit higher, go with R. Okay, to decrease the size a little. Why does it like turn when I try decreasing it now? Is this as small as it gets? Okay, let's try increasing the size a bit. Okay, maybe I go with Control C. There. Now, let's hit something like Control Alt F11 real quick to compile my code and then run it. I feel this size should be kind of good. Okay, so I fall from the top. That is my dragon that actually falls from the top. Do I see my meets mesh anywhere? Oh, wait, I see it up. It's like, it's above me. I gotta get it lower. Okay, let's go there. Let's go ahead and hit something like W. Get it a bit lower. There, that should be good. Let's hit Control Alt F11 again. And then patch my file. Now, if I were to run the code again once it's done patching. Okay, let's go ahead and turn around. There, okay. I think this is not as big, so this is kind of good. Thing is, I gotta go ahead and maybe hit escape real quick. I gotta go to my Dragons class real quick up here. And then maybe add a few methods for my Dragons class. My dragon.c++ and my dragon.header files. I'm gonna go ahead and add a void method called something like lookup, because I want to add a lookup method as well, so I can like look up and down as well, which requires a floating point parameter of value ending with a semicolon. Then in my C++ file, I'm gonna do something. Inside my, after my begin play, I'm gonna go ahead and create another void method. Let's go ahead and create another void method called something like my a dragon class. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with TRAGON. I'm gonna go ahead and use the lookup method. Let's go with something like lookup. There we go. With a pair of parentheses that requires a floating point parameter of value. Sorry, it's import uniform scale. Oh, I see. I might actually try that. But before that, I do want to like make my mesh look up and down as well. So I gotta go ahead and add that real quick, because I feel without it, it gets hard to like look at my me PNG somewhere up or like down. That said, I'm going to go ahead and use the add controller. Let's go with something like pitch input, because your input is to look left and right. Pitch input is for me to be able to look up and down. That requires a parameter of value. Let's go with something like value, ending with a semicolon. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go, let's say, all the way down here and bind something. So I'm going to go with something like player input component. So let's go with something like player input component. Okay, it's going to be pointing towards something like bind axis with a pair of parentheses that requires a turn parameter. Okay, and then I'm going to go with something like this, because actually not turn. This is going to be lookup. My bad, guys. Let's go with something like lookup. I want to look this object up that I'm currently working on. Then I go with the memory address of my dragon. The lookups method, ending with a semicolon. Actually, the lookups function. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 colons here. And then let's go to my Unreal Engine here real quick. Go to, let's say, something like my project settings. I'm going to go ahead and open input. In my input, let's see. Okay, maybe I'm going to go with bindings under my axis mapping. I'm gonna go ahead and create another axis mapping. Okay, so I have something move forward. This is my new axis mapping. Call something like look up. My look up's axis mapping is going to be having a parameter or like a mouse click of something like let's go with something like mouse's y-axis. Let's go with something like mouse y. Okay, so if I move my mouse vertically, then he's going to be looking upwards and downwards depending on where I move my mouse type stuff. That's it. Now let's go to my practice map real quick. Hit Control S to save my code here. Hit Control S to save my code up here as well. Hit Control Alt F11 to compile my code here. I think you've given the meat a vertical scale now. Did I? I might actually check that real quick. Okay, now let's go ahead and run the code real quick. Okay, wait, I cannot move up and down real quick, but I can like walk. I can turn left and right. Why can I not look up and down? Is there a block that I missed up here or something? So in my input settings, I have turn is mouse's x-axis. Look up is mouse's y-axis. If I were to go to my C++ code here, I have a method for looking up that requires a floating point parameter of value. And then in my C++, I made sure to bind my look up with my look up's method. Add controller pitch input. I'm pretty sure it's pitch input. Okay, what does pitch input do? To a pawn add controller pitch input requires a parameter of velocity. Okay. Excuse me, guys. Okay, let's see. Why can I not look up or down? I'm pretty sure my pitch input is correct. Okay, what if I go ahead and add yaw here and pitch here? Just curious. Let's go with something like pitch. There. Now if I did something like Control S to save the code, get my Unreal Engine here, hit something like Control Alt F11 to compile my code. While it's compiling, I might read something real quick. I mean, you gave the meat a negative scale, did I? Oh yeah, I actually feel like I did. Okay, so I look up and down if I go forward. My yaw input is actually not working. Let's go ahead and replace this back to yaw. Let's change that to something like yaw and this to pitch. Okay, let me go ahead and control S real quick. I might go with something like Control A, Control C copy. That gives it /ChatGPT here. Let's go ahead and paste this. And is it like, does it make a difference if I actually give my meets' mesh, what you may call it, a negative scale? Because does that make a difference type stuff? Okay, let's see. Let's go with Control A, Control C. Copy this as well. Get sensei/ChatGPT here too. Go ahead and paste it. Okay, and then let's say something like sensei. These are my codes for my dragons is let's say something like mesh or my dragons is character class. Okay, but let's go with something like but I tried adding pitch, although I don't think that my pitch works when I move my mouse vertically. Okay, my dragon does not look up or down. Okay, let's see. Okay, whilst it's testing, let me go ahead and maybe eat something real quick. Okay, stop, don't panic. This is not a mouse issue, it's not an input issue. And not a you're bad at C++ issue. This is a class Unreal camera ownership problem, okay? What's actually happening, the truth, your lookup axis is firing your out control pitch input is being called, but your camera is not listening to pitch. Why? Because who is allowed to rotate? Unreal has 3 different rotating systems. Right now, they're fighting with each other. The core problem, pay attention. You attach your follow camera directly to your root components, okay? The camera is not rotating with the control pitch. The spring arm is trying to rotate. The camera ignores it completely. I see the correct camera hierarchy. This is law for a third-person character. This structure must be character capsule, spring arm, camera boom, rotates with controller. Okay, I see. Okay, the one line that is breaking your patch is follow camera setup attachment root component. This is crime scene. You gotta go with something like, okay, I have to go with camera boom, not root components. So let's go to my C++ file up here. Change my camera, change my root component to my camera boom. Let's go with something like camera boom. What up, guys? Let's go with something like camera boom. Okay, no wonder. I was like wondering, wait, should it actually be camera boom? This is kind of confusing because I do not think this should be camera boom. Let's go with follow camera. Maybe this should be root component. There we go. Okay, I want to just see if it works. Negative scale breaks collision. Oh, I see. Wait, in that case, I might fix it real quick. But before I fix it, I want to check if this part works. So, okay, so I'm going to go to my practice map, hit Control Alt F11 real quick. I actually never knew negative scale breaks collision. That's actually something new. I might actually fix it real quick. But before that, I want to go ahead and run the code real quick to check if my... Okay, so I can look to the left, I can look to the right, but I cannot look up and down. Okay, let me go ahead and read the whole thing real quick. Okay, camera, BU spawn control, false, Y, controller, rotate spring arm moves the camera. Camera stays passive behavior. Okay, spring arm true, camera false. Okay. Okay, the why yaw work but pitch didn't. Okay, I see. So the rotating system, so it was not the root components' issue. Let's change this to something like root component. It was the rotating issue. I don't know why did I set this to be false here, but let's set it to be true. I think that was just like a camera. Your camera follow should have camera boom, and your camera boom should have root component. Oh, your camera should have, your follow camera should have camera boom. I see. And your camera boom should have root component. Oh, that actually does make sense. That said, I want to check if it works if I change the pawn rotate to be something like true, because I actually don't know why I set the rotate to be false real quick. That said, I can turn backwards, but I still can't look up or down. So I'm going to escape this real quick. Let's change that to be something like false again. By the way, bin or eater. Honestly, guys, I am actually eating. Oh, that actually does sound kind of cool. Your follow camera should be camera boom. Let's go with camera boom. Okay, and your camera boom should have root component. I see, I think this should be true. Let's hit Control S to save the code, get my Unreal Engine here, hit Control Alt F11 real quick. And let's wait for it to compile. Actually patch, once it's successfully patched, I run the code. Okay, I can still turn around and move, but I can't look up or down. So I am kind of locked up here. I know that I am messing something up because before it did work to itself. Okay, so this is set to true. So let's go ahead and hit Control A, Control C, copy that, gives us /ChatGPT up here real quick. I told you to make follow camera to have camera boom, and your camera boom should have root component. I told you to make follow camera to have camera boom. Honestly, I think I actually did that. My follow camera has camera boom, the Emperor of Oaths. What is it you're doing? Honestly, I'm working on like collision events, but before that, I do want to like work on letting my players' pitch work, because I feel like my dragon cannot look up or down for the time being. Okay, so that is root component. Let's get some /ChatGPT up here real quick. Let's go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter, and say something like, let's say, I tried this, okay, but it feels like something is still wrong because I can't look up or down. Okay, let's see. You need to re-add the dragon as this in the constructor, which happens only once. And you need to re-add this. And you need to re-add the dragon as this is a constructor. Okay, and that's why we don't use code for this stuff. I see. I mean, I feel like, let me see, because I did get it to work once. The mistake loud and clear rotation is wrong. I'm gonna say this only once. Then it becomes law in your brains. The only one thing that's allowed to use pawn control rotation is the spring arm right now. Okay, set this to be false. But wait, there's a second trap. Add this in your constructor. Okay, go with something like pitch, your roll. Honestly, I haven't heard of roll. Is roll like diagonal movement? Okay, BU pawn control false. BU pawn control your rotation yaw is gonna be false. BU pawn control rotation roll is gonna be false. Get character movement B orientation to move is true. I mean, I don't think this is even necessity because I got this done before I even added this stuff before. Okay, maybe let's go ahead and change this to be something like false real quick. Hit Control S to save the code. The constructors only call once. The constructors only call once when you add the stuff in scenes. I see. Okay, so I know that the constructors call once, but let's see. Is something missing here? Let me think really hard. I have arm length. I have set up attachment. Okay, just use the GUI, like it's easier for the intelligence of UI, definitely better. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's get my Unreal Engine here real quick. I want to hit Control Alt F11 to compile my code, and then let's see if I can look up. I don't think so. If I couldn't, then I might actually watch my old video, because I did get it to work that time. Let's hit something like escape. Maybe try adding this in my constructor too. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, get character movement. B orientation movement is going to be set to true. I definitely got to include something. Okay, let's go with hashtag included bro. Parentheses, let's go with something like character movement. Is there IntelliSense? Okay, maybe no IntelliSense here. Let's go ahead and remove this from here. Okay, let's hit something like Control S to save the code. Okay, is my code saved here? There we go. Now, if I were to go to my Unreal Engine real quick, hit Control Alt F11 again. Okay, but before I run my code, okay, it does say build failed. What up, guys? Build failed. Maybe because my character movement is wrong here. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this. I'm pretty sure I did get it to work before. What's different now? Okay, let me think. Okay, let me read this properly. I got it to work before. If I were to go like all the way up till some of my previous codes. Okay, that is jump. Okay, was it before jump? So let's see. Okay, this is for my jump. Let's go a bit higher. Okay, follow camera, set up attachments. So my follow camera does not require root component. Okay, let's see. But in a third person setup, spring arm attaches to the root, camera attaches to the spring arm. Okay. And then this is use spring sub object. Okay, let's see. So did I add a yaw input here? Okay, I did add. So this is the working code back then. Let's go with something like void. Okay, so let's actually read this part. Okay, include. This is my header files. I don't want my header files. I want to go to my C++ files. Okay, this is my header files. I have a lookup up here. And then let's go down all the way here. Okay, no, you don't understand, lol. If you make changes like this in the constructor, it won't magically happen. It's only called once when you add it in the scene. Unreal is not hot reloading. I see, that actually does make sense. Like constructor just like runs once. The while loop or the main loop actually keeps executing every single iteration. Let's see. So I add a camera boom here. Okay. Now my camera boom is attached to my root component. Target arm length I did add, and then control point is set to true. My follow camera is going to be attached to my root components. Nope, it should be attached to my camera boom here. And then that's set to false. Okay, that should, I did everything correct if we look at it. Okay, is there something that I messed up here? Let's see. So follow camera is going to be pointing towards. Use point control rotation is going to be set to false. Okay, that is delta time. Okay, let's see. So this is the first problem. That's the second problem. Minor issue, double semicolon. After that, it did work, fixed constructor. So I got to create a default component. Okay, maybe I go ahead and just copy this real quick to check if it works. Let's copy this part and then go all the way here. Let's try pasting this here. There we go. Okay, because I feel it's like exactly the same. I'm just going to change it to something like 700.0f. And everything looks correct here, honestly. Is there something that I'm doing wrong here for my methods? Actually, yeah, for my functions, I mean. Okay, let me go all the way up here. Let's check my functions up. So, I got a void function, my character, setup player, input components. Okay. Where are the... Okay, there we go. This is my function. So, add controller, pitch input, add controller, yaw input. I did those things correct. Check your details of the dragon. I might actually check it. Give me a sec. So, let me hit something like Control S to save the code here real quick. Go to my Unreal Engine. Because I feel everything is correct here. Okay, let's go to the details for my dragon. There we go. Okay, so... I did add a few positions for my camera. Though, could it be that my camera position is not letting me move? Mm, maybe I go ahead and restart that, and I restart this as well. Okay, my camera is still up here. Let's hit something like Control Alt F11 to compile my code real quick. There we go, it says results succeeded. Let's go ahead and exit that. Get this all the way back here. Now, if I were to go ahead and run the code, let's see what happens. Check the hierarchy. There, now it works. Okay, I think I understand what the mistake was. So basically where I actually messed up was I added location. Maybe I max capped my camera's position. Like my camera was stuck to my camera boom. So I think restarting the rotations was basically it. There we go. Now I can move up, down as well. And guys, I feel this is like much better. And I felt the collision to it. The reason I don't like this is because it's really hard to control the type stuff. There we go. Because like I don't prefer like going left, right. I prefer like just move. I don't prefer looking up and down because that makes it really hard to move. Okay, bro. I'm a BCA student. Give me guidance, please. Honestly, I feel like I'm not as good as whatchamacallit, as good in giving guidance for like depends. Is BCA like a college or like a school? Because I would like recommend like work a lot on your content like off school time as well, like in your home time type stuff. Okay, no shit, Sherlock. I see. Is the camera child of the spring arm? Honestly, I feel like it is. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and move this a bit. Okay, the Emperor of the Oaths shouldn't be programming like this, guys. Shouldn't be programming like this is kind of crazy. That's it. Let's go ahead and escape real quick. Get this a bit back. There we go. That actually fixed almost everything. Now, let me go ahead and fix my meets' position. It's actually set to like a negative position right now. I want to set it to be a positive position. Oops, there we go. Okay, let's get my meat a bit higher. There we go, and then let's go a bit in front. There. Okay, I think that's good. Let's get this a bit lower so it touches the floor. A bit higher there. That's actually perfect. Let's hit something like, wait, let me get my position from here. There, that is negative position. Let me change that to something like positive 700. Let's go ahead and delete the negative. Go with something like 700. Excuse me, guys. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and get this out here now. Now, if I hit Control Alt F11 real quick, let's see if my collision works. Not position. Not position. The scale is negative. Oh, I actually forgot that. What up, guys? Let me fix my scale. Okay, yo. Hiding Mochi Mochi, I appreciate you joining the stream. Hiding Dixit, I appreciate you joining the stream as well. Okay, let's go with something like my meat actors. The scale is set to negative. I'm gonna reset that. That makes it actually huge. I want to go with something like W. Let's get it a bit higher. Okay, let's get it a bit more high. There we go. Now I'm gonna hit something like R, decrease its size. Oops, there we go. Okay, let's go with something like W. Okay, maybe I want to get close to it. Now let's go to my meet actors is mesh. Let's get it a bit lower. There, I think that should be good. Let's click something like D. I thought if I click D, I could go lower. There, that should be kind of good. Let's go ahead and hit something like W again. Get it a little higher. There, now, if I were to go ahead and hit Control Alt F11 real quick, change import uniform scale. Actually, I could try that. Okay, the Emperor of Oaths stated, I feel like it is to a factual question. Where's Mr. Oaths? Guys, Mr. Oaths is kind of crazy. Okay, now if I were to go ahead and run the code, let's see what happens. Let's get my content drawer a bit back. There we go. Okay, do I feel the collision here? Okay, I think I don't feel the collision because my dragon is not completely touching the ground. I gotta get him like completely towards the ground type stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and extend this. Go to my dragon's PNG up here. It looks like he's touching the ground here. Isn't he? So, wait, is something wrong with my position? Maybe I get my meats a bit higher. Let's go with something like W. Let's get it a bit higher. Hit Control Alt F11 to patch my code real quick. Okay, your models are also not center pivoted, so all your objects are weirdly positioned. That actually does make sense. How do I like get them to be centrally pivoted? Okay, what will you do after 100 days JavaScript? Honestly, I'm not like the reason I had like my C++ for 100 days series. Okay, did I pass through it? is because I thought that it would be like really helpful for me to actually work on making games type stuff. But after my 100 series, which ends actually today, today was the day 100 of my C++ for 100 series, I will still be working with C++. But once I'm actually pretty good with it, I'm going to be adding Python as well. So I'm going to be learning Python and C++ at the same time and try to implement Python for the AI logic and C++ for the speed and all that stuff in my game engine. Okay, you set up collision completely wrong, did I? Hmm. Okay, let's do something like escape. Go to static mesh view and change simple to simple as complex. Okay, so go to static meshes viewport and then change simple. Okay, let's go with something like simple. There we go. So I see collision here. Okay, so it says collision material. This says something like none. Okay, your player capsule will be the one colliding, not your dragon. Your player capsule. Oh, I see. Your dragon is not your player. Your player is the capsule. The dragon is just a mesh. I see. JavaScript is better for you than all other languages. You need to learn HTML, CSS before it, as prerequisites are okay, as they're very tightly connected to each other. I see. Can I ask something? Honestly, you can ask something. Okay, let's see. Let's go to something like practice. Let's go to my dragon mesh. Okay, here's the thing. Let me get my dragon mesh a bit higher. So let's get him a bit higher. There we go. Okay, does he have a collision? Okay, let me extend this. Okay, my dragon does not have a collision box. I gotta go ahead and add a collision box to it. Let's go with something like a collision box. Okay, should I go with capsule collision? Like, what's the difference between them? Okay, collision preset from simple to complex. Actually, I could set that real quick in a sec. Let me go ahead and get my collision box up here real quick. Let's go with something like R. Increase its size a little. Am I increasing it? Oh wait, I was decreasing size. There we go. There, I think that should be good. I think that should be good. Okay, maybe I go ahead and increase it from the sides a bit. There we go. Now, if I did Control Alt, actually before I hit Control Alt F11, let me go ahead and maybe scroll a bit lower. Okay, do I find collision here? Let's go with something like collision. Okay, my preset is going to be set to something like block all. And now, if I did Control Alt F11 real quick, what happens? Your dragon is a static mesh. Honestly, it is like a movable mesh. Okay, the capsule that you see that is centered in your player. Can I ask you something? Honestly, what's up, hey you? Or hey you? Sorry for your name. Okay, why are you adding a box collision to your dragon? Honestly, I thought like if I add a box collision, so like wherever he goes, like I can like collide with objects. Like, wait, why can I collide? Am I like messing up something here? Okay, just change the pivot using modeling tool so it's in the center of the capsule. Okay, let's try that. How do I go to the modeling tool? Let me actually go here real quick. Okay, is it something in the meat mesh? Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and exit this real quick. Yo, how doing, Horizon? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. This is kind of complicating. Let me actually try to scroll down a bit. Can I ask something? What's up? Hey, you can ask something. Okay, just change the pivot using modeling tool so it's in the center of the capsule. Okay, did you even build the meat collision? Honestly, I did not like add it in the code, but I can actually do it through the code as well. It's not movable mesh, bro. Your player is moving and okay, wait, it's not a movable mesh, is it not? Oh, your player is moving, and since the dragon is the child, your player moves with it. Oh, I see. Okay, wait, basically what that actually means, does it mean that my actor here is the only thing that moves? Oh, okay, I think I see. So my actor is what moves, which means my dragon is what moves, but the capsule here is not the thing that moves. My capsule has the collision, not my actual dragon's mesh. In that case, can I change my dragon's mesh's position to be... there we go. Okay, would that make sense? Because I get it in the center here. Okay, let's go ahead and get this here. Is math import for code or not? Honestly, in Python, there was like a math module. Are you talking? Wait, is math important for code or not? Honestly, I wouldn't say like math is important for code because I'm like awful at math. But if you do actually know math, that makes that much easier. Okay, let's see. Where are you from, bro? Where are you from, bro? Honestly, I used to answer much, but these days I didn't like avoid saying that type stuff. That's it. Let's go to my box collision real quick. Let's go to my box here. Now I'm gonna hit something like W. Give this a bit back. There we go. Okay, no, you don't need math, but it helps in some cases. I see. Okay, the capsule moves and that will collide. That makes sense. I was wondering why my mesh wasn't colliding because all my logic is all my actual whatchamacallit, my box collision, my mesh and everything is the child or it's under my actual dragons' actor. So my actor slash my capsule is what actually collides and all that, not my mesh. This should work if I were to go ahead and run the code. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I can turn around. There we go. Now I collide. This makes more sense. So I've always been colliding with my objects, but my whatchamacallit, my actor was colliding with my my capsule. My actor was colliding with my object, but not my mesh. There we go. Okay, I suck at math, lol. That actually does make sense. I'm awful at math as well. Change collision complexity, find collision complexity, drop down menu, and change the setting from its default, or use simple collision to use complex collision as simp. I see. Okay, you'll need math to code if you want to make games. I see. Honestly, I would say math is a pretty good skill to have if you're actually whatchamacallit, if you're programming, but I feel like it's not that necessary, but it's always better to have more skills than less skills. Okay, let's go ahead and hit something like exit. Finally, I have a collision between my dragons' class and my meets' class. Actually, my meets' object, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the meet underscore and my actor.cpp. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna get sensei slash chat GPT up here again. Okay, let's say something like just sensei, the collision works, exclamation. That said, let's go with something like that said. Now, can we work with the collision events question mark? I do want to go over the collision events now. If you want to wipe code, then you just need common sense. Actually, does make sense, guys. Okay, yeah, I'm learning to code Lua and make games on Roblox. Honestly, I think I've worked with people that actually use Lua, and I actually worked with them because before I used to enjoy modeling type stuff, so I used to just model stuff, a lot of stuff in Blender. I lost my skills though. That said, I tried learning Lua for 2 days, but then I stopped because I thought that I enjoy modeling more than programming, but it changed now, guys. That's it. Good. You learned this step. Collisions working means you've crossed it from I move things into I make world react. It's event beginning overlap, I see. Okay, you need math to be able to calculate niche stuff that involves functions like cos or log, like calculating offsets, but you could just ask AI, I see. Okay, that's it. Collision working means you've crossed from I move things into I make worlds react. This is where game starts. Now for collision events, what collision events actually means? Okay, blocking hit events, overlaps. What are we building? Mental model. Then event fire, code once something happens, sprint, destroy, heal, score later. Okay, no physics magic, no guessing, just signal responses, required conditions, miss one equals to nothing happens. For overlap events to fire, all of these must be true. Collision enables query only or query and physics. Generate overlap events, collision responses. Maybe I get my Unreal Engine up here real quick. I feel I gotta do something here. So I'm gonna go to my Dragon Mesh. Okay, let's go with something like collision. Let's get this a bit higher. Go with collision. Okay, now under my collision, where I see, okay, I see something like override. There we go, generate overlap events. I gotta go ahead and check that. Under my presets, I gotta go ahead and go with something like custom. I'm gonna change this to query only. Object type is gonna be a pawn. Okay, perfect. Okay, physics body, vehicle. Okay, so my object type is gonna be my pawn, and that's pretty much it. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe shrink the size a bit from here, remove that, go to my meets class as well, or my meets actor. Okay, okay, now I'm gonna type for collision here as well. Let's go with collision, scroll all the way down here. I wanna go ahead and take that, and then collision presets is gonna be something like custom. query only, object type is going to be a pawn. Perfect. Let's go ahead and exit that. Now let's hit Control Alt F11 real quick. No, you have to do it with meat mesh. Oh, I see. Wait, would it work if I did it with both, or should I just do it with meat? The meat is what you will interact with. No, honestly, yeah, the meat is with I'm gonna be like actually colliding with a meat that's gonna be generating an event type stuff. That's it. Hiding wishes. I appreciate you joining the stream. Let's run the code real quick. So wait, should I just do it with like the object that I gotta interact with? Because I can still interact with both. Like I still can collide. So the collision still works here. That's it. Let's go ahead and escape it. Okay. Let's go up here, scroll down, and say something like done adding those changes to those changes to say. Now, what should I do for my code? Okay, now this is finally comes the fun part. I mean, let's see. Good, you did the boring but critical part. Now we move into events. This is where Unreal starts talking back to you. Focus, no rushing. We do this clean. Step 1, decide what objects handles the events. We're putting the collision event on the meat actor. Why? Because the meat gets touched, the meat reacts. The dragon does not get micromanage everything. Okay, does not need to micromanage everything. I feel like your dragon is tiny. Is that intentional? Honestly, it is just like a random size. I didn't want it to be like really huge type stuff. That said, prevent heart for integer range 100. Honestly, that honestly means the world to me wishes. Okay, that's that. This is called responsibility, and guys, that actually does make sense. Adding like a block of code in chat instead of spamming like a lot of emojis or something. Actually, Nightbot doesn't flag that because for some reason Nightbot just flags that there are like more than 4 or 5 emojis in chat type stuff. That said, step 2, you need an overlap function. No magic. Unreal will not guess what function to call. You must declare one. In your meet actor.h, add this inside protected. I create a u function, a void. Okay, so inside my u function, I create a void function. Okay. Inside my Unreal.js function, I create a function called onMeet overlap u primitive component overlap component. Excuse me, guys. A actor, other actor, u primitive component, other component. Okay, so my u primitive component is going to be represented by a pointer of overlapped component. My a actor is going to be represented by a pointer of other actor. My u primitive component is going to be represented by other components. This pointer. Int 32 other body index boolean b from sweep constant f hit results and sweep results. Do not panic at the parameters. You're not expecting to memorize them yet. This is Unreal's standard overlap signature. Step 3, bind the events. This is the part you were missing. Unreal does not auto connect everything. Okay, in your meet actor.h. Okay, in your meet actor.c++, make sure you have this included at the top component / box component. Okay, I think Mochi, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's checked. Okay, I hiding Vedant, I appreciate you joining the stream as well. Okay, now important, your collision box must be a member variable, not a local variable. First, fix this part, very important. In the meet actor.h, add u property visible anywhere. U box component is going to be represented by a collision box as pointer. ChatGPT is the best teacher. That actually does make sense. It does make a few mistakes at times, but I feel like the stuff that it teaches far exceeds the mistakes that it makes type stuff. Now, in your constructor, collision box equals to create default sub object. So I create a default sub object. I set up attachment to root component. I set collision to be enabled. Collision enabled query only. Okay, did I do this manually? Set generative overlap to be true. I think I did this manually, so I might not need these 3 parts. Okay, collision box on component being overlapped to meet actor. I see. Step 4, define the function body in your meet.c++. Okay, I gotta go with something like my meet overlap with these parameters. If other actor and other actor is not equal to this object, you elog. Okay, I go with a UE log that has a log temp. I'm displaying a warning temp, and I have a text that says "me touched by." Let's go with something like other actor get name. So this is my other actor's name. Okay, I honestly might actually copy this first, and then later I'm going to be learning it just to see if it works. Do you use other AIs, example Gemini, for summarizing YouTube videos? Honestly, actually I don't, but for some reason I realized that in my YouTube videos there is like, what you may call it, an option to summarize my videos. I think that's like a new update that YouTube added or something. That's it. Let's go ahead and copy this. Go to my Meet Actor real quick. .header files under my protected data members. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this. The reason I am just copying this right now is for just checking if this actually works type stuff. That's it. Let's get ChatGPT back here. Next up, I gotta go ahead and include this line in my meetactor.c++. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, and then once I'm done with that, let's go with an extra space. So let's go all the way here. Now, once I'm done with that, in my meetactor.header files, I gotta set visibility. Okay, let's go to my header files again. I gotta go ahead and add a visibility, but this time it's just gonna be visible anywhere. My blueprint won't be reading it. I don't have a category name. Okay, and then once I'm done with that as well, now in your constructor, these three things here is not necessary, but I might actually just add it. What's your IDE? Honestly, I am like using Visual Studio 2022. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this here real quick. Okay, I see. Now once I'm done with that as well, let's go back here. Okay, step 4, define the function body. Still in the main.c++. I'm still in main.cpp. Okay, add this, define the function body. I'm assuming I gotta go ahead and add this after my begin, like right here. Let's go under my begin, paste this, and then I have a UE log here as well, and I'm pretty sure that like includes it all. There we go, it does. Let's hit Control S to save the code here, hit Control S to save the code here. Go to my Unreal Engine, hit Control Alt F11 to compile my code. Let's wait for it to patch. While it patches, I might actually eat something. Okay, I get a small build fail. I'm assuming the build fail is because of my these three parameters here. Let's go ahead and delete that, hit Control S to save the code. Let's run the code here real quick. Okay, it says build fail. Let me actually check why. Let's go with Control C, Control Z. There we go. Let's go with something like Control A, Control C, copy that, gets into ChatGPT here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, go with Shift Enter. And guys, my ChatGPT chat is kind of laggy right now, probably because I've been using it for the past 4 days. I gotta actually, get a new chat as well. Maybe after the stream is over. Let's paste this here as well. Go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei, I get a error. Okay, let's run the... Actually, let's send the code real quick. I need something because I am kind of starving. Okay, stop, don't panic. This is a classic Unreal C++ error, and you are this close. You did 90% right. The error is not your logic. It's the headers. I'm going to be very clear and very calm because this is where most people lose their minds. What you're actually doing wrong. The root cause in your C++ file is fine. Your event binding is correct. Your function signature is correct. The error is happening in your header files. There are U-box, U-primitive component, U-static component. Unreal is very strict. If a type appears in a header file, that header must know about it. Okay, fix it. At the top, add these includes. So I gotta go ahead and add these 3 includes. Okay, I see. Let's go ahead and copy this part real quick. Okay. Also, this forward declaration is not enough for f-hit results, so we add engine/engine types.h. Okay, I see. Let's try that. So let's go ahead and paste it before my generated. And then you added the wrong component name of the header. I see. Wait, hold up. Let me actually go ahead and copy this real quick as well, because I do want to first get a code that completely works, like a good reference code, so I could actually study it type stuff. This is exactly what ChatGPT does to me. It gives me code that doesn't work, like methods that don't exist. I see. I mean, that does make sense, because like I feel I did not add headers. I'm pretty sure this is going to work. Let's hit Control S. Let's get my Unreal Engine here. It's something like Control Alt F11 to compile my code. Let's see. Okay, there we go. It says result succeeded. Now, if I were to go ahead and exit this, the box collision you added earlier shall be like component slash earlier name of a box collision component. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's exit this, run the code real quick. Now, I gotta make sure that there's like a UE log that actually happens in my output log. So I hit an object, Shift F1 for mouse center. Let's go with something like Shift F1. There we go. I can move my mouse again, go to output log. It says command debug manage previous column. Wait, didn't it say anything? What happens if I collide again? Let's collide a bunch of times. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. There, let's go ahead and something like Control F1, open my output log. It says command debug manager cycle to previous column. Let's hit something like escape. There we go. Now, everything here is correct, but my UE log does not actually fire. Okay, me touched by, it should be dragon, so I could go ahead, get some slash chat GPT back here. Let's go ahead and say something like, let's say, the code runs, but when I collide, I don't get my UE logs as text. I don't get my UE logs as text, but I get a different text that says, I forgot what it says actually. Hold up, guys. Let's get this here, guys. Why did I open Blender? Let me go ahead and exit my Blender. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code real quick. Okay, I want to go ahead and collide with my meat real quick. There we go. Let's go back. Let's go ahead and hit Shift F1. Go to outputs. Copy my output real quick. Okay, let's copy this. And then I'm going to go ahead and exit this. Let's get some slash chat GPT back here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, whilst it's actually thinking, let me go ahead and just eat something real quick. You added another box collider at the center of the object, if you see that. Another... Did I? In the center of the object. I just see like one box collider. Wait. Oh, I see it. Okay, use Google instead of Chat GPT for once. That actually makes sense. Wait, hold up. In that case, collision enabled. I might not need these 3. Okay, I do not need a collision box here. Let's go ahead and remove my collision box. Okay, I did this part. Let's remove this. Collision box component begin overlap. Okay, let's hit something like Control S. What is my collision box called here? Okay, let's go to my dragon here real quick. It's called box. I want to rename it to be something like collision box. Let's go with rename. Let's call it something like collision box. Was it called collision box? There we go. Okay, let's go with collision box. Okay, perfect. Now, if I hit Control Alt F11 real quick, let's see what happens. That's what your constructor is doing. Oh, I see. So basically, my constructor was like, whoops, guys, I ran into an error here real quick. So let's go ahead and save and close, guys. I hope everything is saved in my code. Collision box. Okay, let's go with controls here real quick. There we go. Okay, let's hit Control S. Let's go with Control Alt B. Okay, I forgot how to rebuild. Let's go ahead and manually rebuild my solution. Okay, once it's done rebuilding, I might actually remove the box that I created and like use the already created box. Okay, rebuilding all. There we go. Let's wait for it to rebuild. While it's rebuilding, let's get some slash chat GPT up here. Okay, good. The code runs. That means engine accepted your offering. Now, listen closely. This is not a random bug. This is a very specific Unreal behavior. Your overlap function is not firing. The message you see command debug manager cycle to previous column is you just accidentally hitting a debug honky. It is a noise, ignore it. The real reason, okay, your UE log is not showing for one component being overlapped to fire. Collision query enabled, you did this. Both objects must agree to overlap each other. This is the problem. Unreal Collision is a 2-part handshake. Right now, your meat is ready. Your dragon is not. Step 1, fix the dragon. This is the missing link. Your dragon is a character. Character use a capsule component as their real collision body. Go to Dragon C++ constructor and add this. Set collision response to channel. Okay, let's copy this. This is my Dragon C++ constructor, or if you want to be brutal and clear, get capsule component. Okay, so step 2, fix the meets is object type critical collision box. Okay, there we go. And then that should like fix this. Then while playing, press tilde title, then type show collision. You'll see Dragon capsule meet box. Okay, I see. Ask ChatGPT, how can I use collision box I added from the editor? Oh, actually, that does sound kind of cool. I might actually add that. But before that, let's see my, my build result succeeded. Here, let's open my Unreal Engine real quick because I feel like I actually canceled it. Okay, maybe I eat something too. Let's go to my project, open my project. Guys, I hope this wasn't like a stupid idea because I hope my stuff is saved. Okay, let's see if it's saved. I actually hope that it is saved. There we go. It says I can restore. I want to restore everything. Let's go ahead and say restore selected. Unable to check. Okay, let's go with something like okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and extend this. Guys, the moment of truth. Let's go to something like output. Or content drawer. Wait, can I open my content drawer? Let's open my practice map. There. Now let's go all the way up to... Okay, can I turn? Guys, something is kind of buggy with my Unreal Engine. I might have to restart it real quick. Let's exit that. Let's restart it real quick. So there we go. Okay, I can't even exit it. Let me go ahead and exit it from here. Close window and open a new window. There we go. I think like the restoring just made it bug a bit. What are you trying to make now? What is your plan? Honestly, I am like working on collision events in like Unreal Engine. So like when two objects actually collide, they say something like they collided type stuff. You will still not get collision from the meat, but from the center of the object box, as in the code, you're binding that collision box instead of the meat collision box. You add it from your editor. That actually does make sense. I was actually gonna look into that as well. That's it. Let's go to content drawer. Let's go to my content and then load my practice map. There, now I can go ahead and move around. Okay, my meat is here. Let's go ahead and try running the code real quick. Okay, I know that I won't be getting my collision actual text here. Let's go with Shift F1 real quick. Open my output log. Okay, I want to see if I'm like, there we go. Okay, so I have the command manager here. Let's go ahead and remove this. So get some /ChatGPT here real quick. There we go. Okay, wait, let's say something like let's say, I feel like that might not be the issue because I already created a box collision. Let's go with something like collision in from my editor. Okay, so I see two boxes. One small one that I created using code, and one perfectly scaled one that I manually created. Okay, hi Kritik, I appreciate you joining the stream. Are you planning on learning anything related to security and software applications, not just for games? Honestly, I do want to actually try that because I was confused between should I be an AI engineer or like a cybersecurity? I am like looking for an AI engineer, but I might actually explore both those areas as well, so I could actually see which I enjoy the most type stuff. That's let's see, maybe I could pick any chat. Yeah, I think I'll go with this. Okay, let's say I prefer this response. Let's exit that. I prefer this response. Let's scroll all the way up here. There we go. Okay, since it's your eyes up, you're live, so we move with purpose. Today's topic, collision. Okay, you're seeing two collision boxes you added in the editor early, perfectly scaled, C++ small size. This explains 70% of your pain. Unreal does not magically merge them. They're separate components in your code. Now, about this part, I said collision to block all, but I can't see anything under it. That's normal. When you choose block all, Unreal locks the individual responses. Presets are prepackaged rules if you want to control the switch. Okay, pick anything without ChatGPT because that actually does sound kind of... Okay, let's see. Imagine using ChatGPT to learn security. Guys, that actually does sound kind of weird. I don't think I might use ChatGPT to learn like, cybersecurity. That That might be a bit tough, guys. Okay, I'm new, so what are you doing? Honestly, I am like working on my program for like 250 series, where my goal by the end of that series is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it. Today was the end of my C++ for 100 series, and I might actually work with Python as well after this. That said, let's see, where is this created from? I see two boxes. I see a box and I see a collision box. Let's delete my actual box. I might set the position for my collision box from here. Let's move the location to the left. Let's go with something like R. I might want to increase its size. There, and then I wanted to go a bit towards the left. There. And I want to increase it from here. There. Okay, maybe I decrease it some from here, go a bit to the back. Okay, I think I'm getting it higher. Let's go a bit to the back. There we go. Okay, that looks good. I mean, I feel like this just fixed it all. Okay, can you work without ChatGPT? Honestly, I do like have a lot of projects that I made like without ChatGPT, but the reason I use it is to like learn new stuff and all that. He copies whatever ChatGPT spits out, guys. It's not like copying. I mean, I do like copy at the beginning to like get a reference code and see if it works before I actually start working on the code type stuff. Never learned cybersecurity. Binary exploitation is like learning a foreign language in a random tribe in South America. It's too hard. Guys, since it's kind of hard, I might actually try that. But not just yet. Let's see. Let's go ahead and... This is the box component that I created. I just have one box component, so that's good. Now, if I were to go ahead and hit something like Control-Alt-F11 real quick to compile my code, let's see what happens. Okay, where are you from? I used to actually answer it before, but these days I did like avoid saying that. That's it. Let's go ahead and run the code real quick. Okay, let's see. So I collided with my object. Let's go with F1. Go to output log. There we go. Okay, so it does say I collided. So the real issue is I created a box using my code, but I did not like actually merge the one that I created from my editor type stuff. Now every time I collide, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get a output log here that says something like log temp warning, me touched by dragon. Okay, perfect. It actually works. Let's go ahead and something like exit. Now I can actually start learning the code. Okay, let's see. Let's get sensei/ChatGPT up here real quick. Let me say it works. Let's say something like sensei. Let's go with something like sensei. It works! Exclamation. Okay, now I just need to, let's go with, I just need to work on learning the code. I will be practicing a bit now. Okay, now I just gotta practice this, the code actually works. Okay, let's see. So this is actually the code. So apparently what I had to do is I am assuming I included the spring arm component, camera component. Those were the old stuff for creating my spring arm and my camera. I did not need anything inside my Dragons' header files. I did not need anything inside of my Dragons' header files here as well. So, okay, but I did need to add stuff for my Meets actor. I went ahead and I included my components. So from my components, I included my box components as header file, my static mesh components as header file, and my primitive components as header files. Well, I mean, and also my engine types. So, okay, this is why I say watch him to make sure I know what kind of stuff the wipe coders do to make something. I see. Just to make sure I can ask the right questions when I hire. Oh, I see. Okay, what's your age? Honestly, I am like 17. That's it. I'm going to be turning 18 really soon, guys. My birthday is this January 5th. I think it's like in 8 days, guys. Kind of excited, but I might not have anything special that day. Let's go ahead and eat something real quick. 28, guys. 28 is kind of crazy. Let's see. Now, I have my project here. Once I include the 3 header files, which is my box components as header files, my static meshes header files, and my primitive components as header files, and also my engine types as header files, I gotta go into my protected section, create a U function, okay, that has a void function inside of it, okay, and then I add a few parameters that my function requires. My function is gonna require a U primitive component, which is going to be represented by overlap components as pointer. It requires a actor. Okay, so it requires my a actor. Okay, I'm assuming this is my actors this class here. There we go. My A actor is going to be represented by my other actor on meet overlap. So this is basically a collisions name. And then I go with something like U primitive component for my other component. Okay, so we're talking about two components here. And then I have a int 32. What does int 32 mean? A 32-bit signature integer. I see. Okay, and then other body index. I don't know why did I need the other body index. And then I had a boolean from sweep. Okay, and a constant f hit result, which is going to have the memory address of my sweeps as result. Okay, I did not understand most of the methods here, but let's see. And then I go with U property, which says it's going to be visible everywhere. My box is going to be visible anywhere. And then UBox component is going to be represented by a collision box. This is where I actually create my box collision. And then inside of my C++ file, I include my box components as header files. Okay, then inside my constructor, this is for my meets as mesh. I create a default sub object for my collision box, which is going to be called collision box. And then I point it towards, I set a attachment up for my collision box, which is going to be root component. And then I set collision enabled. Okay, this is going to be e collision enabled query only. And then I have collision box set collision response to all channels, which is ECR overlap. I've not heard of this, but let's see the next one. Set generate overlap events, which is going to be set to true. Okay, I see. I know what these functions are for. Like the set generative overlap events is the stuff that I could actually like get in my Unreal Engine right here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now to learn it, instead of rewriting the same stuff for the next 5 streams, why you don't make 5 different actors, each with a different type of stuff. Now you will give a point, one will lose HP and so on. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, much better to learn rather than writing the same stuff again and again. Okay, and for that, use your brain, not ChatGPT, if you really want to learn. That actually does make sense. Once I get the reference code, it makes like the work so much easier. So I just like actually learn the type stuff. That said, guys, honestly, give me a sec. Let me actually mute myself. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect, guys. I feel like there was some kind of background noises. The Outlook is having troubles. Okay, let's hit something like no. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and exit that. Okay, just code with my coding sessions, bro. Work with vectors today on C++. I see. Honestly, I feel like I did like learn vectors. I think I had a specific stream on vectors. That's let's see. So I have a map here. Now, instead of actually adding a collision for my this class, I mean, I do want to like work on my code up here. So I could first try writing the code maybe a few times. And then I'm going to create another class and implement this logic on my own. Okay, let's see. So firstly, inside my... Maybe I do want to create another class, guys. I feel like I might actually create another class. That might make it much easier. Okay, so I'm gonna go up to tools and then let's go to something like new class. I want to create, let's go with something like an actor class. My actor class, okay, let's go ahead and call it something like health bar. There we go, let's go with health bars. Actually, I might go with something like 0 HP actor. Let's go with 0 HP actor. Okay, perfect. And then I'm gonna go ahead. You cannot... Okay, your class must be an alphabetical character. Oh, I see. Maybe I go with something like 0 HP. Let's go with something like 0 HP. There we go, 0 HP actor. Okay, where are you from? Honestly, I used to actually answer much, but these days I don't like avoid saying that. That's let's see. So I'm adding code to project, generating project files. Maybe I go ahead and eat something real quick. Okay, now let's go all the way up here. It says patching code. Let's go to my Visual Studio and then let's reload all. Now I have my 0 HP character and my 0 HP characters as header files. Inside my header files, I want to go ahead and add my collision logic, but before that, I'm going to open my Unreal Engine here, go to something like my content, C/C++ classes. This is going to be my 0 actor that I'm going to go ahead and drop it right here. Can I see it? Okay, I mean, I think I just can't see it, but my actor is somewhere here. Let's see. Where is my actor? Okay, maybe I want to go ahead and change its position real quick. So, I mean, maybe I'm going to be adding a static mesh to it. Let's go with something like a static mesh so I can actually see it type stuff. Okay, don't you speak Hindi? Honestly, I could actually speak Hindi, but I'm not like as fluent in it as I'm in English. So I wouldn't know most phrases and words. I wouldn't be able to like, whatchamacallit, phrase half thing that I wanted to say. He's ashamed to be Indian. He won't tell the truth. Guys, ashamed to be Indian is kind of crazy. That's it. Let's see. Let's go with something like 0 HP. There we go. So this is my actor. Okay, let's go all the way here. Now let's go ahead and go with something like W. Extend this up from here. Okay, go a bit back. There we go. Whoops. Okay, there. I think that should be good. Let's go a bit lower as well. And I feel the scale is actually perfect as well because I don't think it's too big. Wait, is there like a camera that's like getting close to this? I gotta go ahead and add a camera component as well. Let's go a bit to the left. There, let's go a bit more to the left. Let me actually come back to the left, go a bit lower. There. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, let's see. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. Let me go ahead and add a camera Actually, I won't need a camera component, but I will be needing a box mesh. So this is where I have the coding part. Okay, you're a freshman. You're right. Honestly, I am like a freshman in college. That's it. Is it considered freshman if like I'm already done with one semester? You're at college? Honestly, I am at college. That's it. Let's see. Now, in my header files for my 0 HP, I gotta go ahead and include a few files. I gotta include box component. I gotta include static mesh component, primitive component, and engine types. So I'm gonna go ahead and include something. Let's go with hashtag include. Let's go with something like did I spell include correct? There we go. And then I'm gonna go with something like hashtag. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and include, let's say, something like components. Okay, from my components, I want to include my box components .h, which is my box components as header files. Okay. No, bro, you're 14, guys. 14 is kind of crazy. I'm turning 18 in like I think like 8-ish days now. Okay, get over yourself, people. Guys, that actually does make sense. Freshman at 17 is crazy. Honestly, that does actually make sense. Okay, and like, why the hell would you read comments if you don't intend to answer it? It's so annoying. Please block these words. That actually does make sense. Let's see. Now, next time I'm gonna go ahead and say something like include. Let's go ahead and include something like components. Let's go with components. Okay, slash. I want to go ahead and include was it? I actually forgot. So I have to include static mesh component and primitive components as header files. So I'm gonna go with something like static mesh component. Okay, dot header files. And then let's go ahead and include, let's go with something like from my components. I want to include primitive components .h or component .h. And lastly, I'm going to go ahead and include engine types. Excuse me, guys, from my engine, I want to include engine type. Okay, let's go with engine type .h, which is engine type and its header files. I'm pretty sure I spelled it wrong. Engine types.h. I think I spelled it correct. There we go. Okay, engine types.h. Now, once I'm done adding these three things, do I remember the names of box component, static component, primitive component, engine types.h? Okay, you keep saying that does make sense, but say it again, Viv. Honestly, okay, you use UMG and Unreal for the UI. Actually, I might actually watch videos on like UMG because I spent a lot of time in Blender, so I'm using like blenders and meshes, but I might actually learn about UMGs. Okay, you don't use meshes, you use UI, you use UMG and Unreal at GPT if you doubt. Honestly, I don't like doubt it, but I might actually work on UMGs off stream in that case. That's it for the time being. I do want to like work with the collision part real quick. So for my collision, once I'm done including my meshes, what is the next thing that I gotta do? I gotta go ahead and create a mesh component. Okay, I gotta go ahead and create a U property that says is visible only, a mesh component, and then a function. First, I might go with my mesh component. So I'm assuming the mesh component goes maybe under my begin. Firstly, I'm gonna go with a U property. Okay, which says I want my this class to be visible anywhere. I want it to be a blueprint read only. Okay, and then I want the category. Let's go with category. Okay, to be equal to something like okay, what do I want a category to be? Let's say something like maybe mesh. Or I might go with something like 0 HP. Let's go with 0 HP. Or health bar. Let's go with health bar. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a uStatic. Let's go with something like a uStatic mesh component. Okay, UMG is the UI of Unreal. You still make these sprites and use UMG for making the UI. It's like canvas render for Unreal. Oh, I see. UMG is not another software like Blender. Oh, I see. Yo, wait, can you block legal tab for God's sakes? I mean, I could like add a timeout. Okay, maybe I go with. I mean, I don't like actually like adding much timeouts, but maybe after like if he says something else toxic, like if he says any other toxic thing, then I could actually let's go with something like uStatic mesh components. There we go. So my uStatic. Okay, is it called? Did I spell it correct? There we go. My uStatic mesh component is going to be represented by a pointer of something like 0 HP bar. I might just go with 0 HP, ending with a semicolon. And then once I'm done with this, now comes the, I think, complicating part. I gotta create a U function. That's easy. I gotta create a void function inside my Unreal's function that requires a bunch of parameters. So it requires a U primitive component, which is going to be represented by the pointer of overlap component. That's easy. A actors, which is going to be represented by a pointer of other actor. Okay, U primitive component is going to be represented by other component, integer 32, other body index, boolean b from sweep constant. Okay, first I'm going to add my U primitive component and my A actor. So let's try that. So I'm going to create a Unreal function. So I'll go with U function. There we go. My U function is going to be, let's say, having another void function inside it. Do I need to like add a parentheses? I don't think it's like that important, but I might add it. So I might go with something like a void function called something like collision. Okay, I create, actually, does it? I mean, I think it's the same thing. There we go. I go with something like collision. Now my collision, this function does require a few parameters. Let's remove the parentheses. Okay, because apparently we don't need it, sure. Is the U function correct? So go with U function. Void overlaps this function. Okay. What if I end this with a semicolon? I mean, sometimes it gets so confusing in Unreal because apparently most of the time it shows me like a red underline that does not even like mean anything. Okay, so now my U function is going to be requiring a U primitive component. Okay, and I gotta look what does primitive component even mean, but I am going to be representing it by, let's say, something like I think it's set to, was it set to other objects? So it's overlapped components. So I'm gonna set it to a pointer of something like overlapped component. And guys, this is like, let's go with comp. The pointer name that I add here, it could honestly be anything. I'm just adding this to like see what the stuff actually means type stuff. For all I know, I could like just add this to be something like overlap. But I feel like instead of adding overlap, the overlap component sounds much better. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to go with a comma and then add something like a actor, which is going to be represented by a pointer of something like other components. Okay, then I'm going to go with a comma and I got to create another U primitive component. Okay, let's go with component, which is going to be represented by a pointer of, let's see, of other components. This is overlap component, so I have one overlap component, one is going to be other component. Okay, here's the thing, what does my A actor say though? Other actor, this is other component, so this is other actor. I gotta like break this section down to understand what every single method here means, because I feel just blindly writing it wouldn't help much. That said, I do want to like know how to write it first as well. Let's go with something like actor component. Okay, this is other component, and then I'm very sure I needed something like an int 32. This is going to be 32-bit. what was it going to be represented by? It's going to be represented by a local variable of other body index. So other body index, I gotta break this section down. Let's go with something like other body index. Okay, my other component here does have a red underline. Could it be because other component, you primitive component? Did I have a typo here? PRIMITIVECOMPONENT. Other component. This should be correct. COMP. Guys, I'm telling you guys, it's literally unreal. It just keeps messing with me type stuff. Like, it shows red underlines that does not even like require red underline. I mean, I feel that is good, so I won't be like over doubting myself when I like make it red underline. So I would have to like be 100% sure what I type that stuff. That's it. Once I'm done with this, I gotta create a boolean of b from sweep and a constant f hit result. Okay, which is gonna have my sweep result. Let's go with a boolean of b sweep. Okay, and then what was the next one? Okay, b from sweep and f hit result. This is going to be b from sweep, and then I gotta create. Was it a boolean? It's a constant, so I gotta go with something like a constant f hit result, which is going to be requiring the memory address of my sweep result. Okay, then I go ahead and end my entire function with a semicolon, and that was pretty much it. Then I gotta create another U property that says my collision box is gonna be visible everywhere, and I create a U component collision box. Just curious, what if I write it this way? Go with something like a U property. Okay, which says it's gonna be visible anywhere. Okay, and then I go with the pair of curly braces and I go with something like a U collision box. Okay, is going to be represented by, let's say, something like wait, was it collision box? What up guys, let's go out of it here. It's a U-box component, so my U-box component is going to be represented by a collision box's pointer. So a U-box component is going to be represented by a collision box's pointer. There we go. And then I end this with a semicolon. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I can actually use a pair of curly braces here. I just wanted to try it. It's pretty easy to understand what is colliding components, what is the actor it is colliding, what is the other colliding components, the others is index, sweep is a type of collision, and the hit result. Oh, I see. Bro, it's 1 a.m. You're still on stream. Honestly, that does make sense because I feel like today's stream was kind of complicating, but I was trying to get a pretty good grasp of this. Once I understand this, I feel this is going to be like much easier than it already is. Okay, so yo, hiding Tim Scares, did I pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. What you coding? Honestly, I am like working on collision events in SDL, actually in Unreal Engine 5 using C++, where for the time being I want to collide with my health bar. Okay, does this fix it? Okay, I think we cannot add a pair of curly braces here. Okay, it's 9:46 p.m. for me. Oh, I see, it's almost 2 p.m. for me here. Let's let me eat something real quick. U property is an attribute. You can't use pair of curly braces. Oh, I see. Okay, that's it. Now, once I'm done with the U component, that's pretty much it for my header files. Now, let's move on to my C++ files. Here, I gotta create a lot of stuff in my constructor, but firstly, I gotta include my box components as header files. Then, I gotta set my mesh to create a sub-object from that mesh. Okay, let's call it something like, that's my meetsys mesh. Okay, so I gotta go ahead and create a mesh or a sub-object for my, let's say, my 0 HP health bar. So I might go with something like, maybe, okay, I'm gonna go with something like 0 HP. Okay, is this what it's called? 0 HP, there we go. So my 0 HP is gonna be equal to the create default sub object sys function. Let's go with sub object with a pair of ankle braces that requires a parameter here. This is going to be my uStatic mesh component. There we go. Okay, bro, are you from USA? Maybe or maybe not, guys. I mean, I used to understand much, but these days I didn't like avoid saying that type of stuff. That said, let's see, create default sub object. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Okay, so I have a create default sub object here that is uStatic mesh component. This part's correct. Okay, because I sometimes get confused because like I see a red underline here, but later it just all goes away. I forgot. Let me actually go ahead and include something from my components. So I'm going to go with components. Okay, I think this is going to be capital C. So I'm going to go with something like component slash okay, maybe components slash box component. There we go, .h, which is box component and its header files. Then I go with the parentheses, and then let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and add a texture. This text is gonna be called something like box, actually 0 HP. So this is gonna be my 0 HP health bar, ending with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and do something else. Let's see, and guys, I feel like I should just ignore these red underlines here. Okay, hello, howdy pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Now, for my 0 HP here, I'm gonna go ahead and do something. I wanna go ahead and point my 0 HP to be pointing towards, let's say, okay, setup attachment. So I'm gonna be setting up an attachment. Let's go with setup attachment. Whoops, setup guys, let's go with setup attachment. Okay, which is going to be having an attachment of a root component. Okay, perfect. Ending with a semicolon. Okay, bro, I think you need to work on AI and automation, bot, etc. Honestly, I do want to like work on that, but since my this series' main goal was to like make a game in general that consists of AI logic in it, I thought that I wouldn't be able to like learn AI, like generative AI logic here, but maybe after my program for like 250 series is over, I will have another series where I do actually make a chatbot type stuff, if that makes any sense, guys. Now, maybe I go ahead and eat something real quick because I'm kind of starving. Guys, I feel like that was the last of my oats. Huh. Why do I still see a red underline here? Even if the red underline doesn't mean much, it feels like it gets kind of annoying to actually look at. Okay, component slash box component. And then to create default sub object. Okay, text root component meet mesh. Wait, instead of adding default sub object, what if I could go with something like root component. I feel both are exactly the same thing. Okay, is going to be equal to 0 HP. Let's go with 0 HP. Create default sub objects. The spelling is wrong, guys. No way. CREATDE. Oh, there we go. Guys, I gotta work on my typos. Create default sub object. There we go. It's not Unreal Engine. It's your IDE. Happens to me as well. Oh, I see. Okay. Now, once I'm done with this, once I'm done creating a root object, I gotta go ahead and point my 0 HP to a bunch of things. Let's go with something like 0 HP. I want to point it towards my box collision. Is it called box collision? Okay, so I gotta point it towards... Okay, I created a mesh for my object. I gotta create another collision box. So I gotta construct a collision box. So, I'm gonna go ahead and add something for my collision box because I did actually, create a collision boxes pointer here. Okay, let's go up here. Okay, it's just typos, guys. That's awful. I gotta work on my typos. Let's go with something like box collision. Okay, so box collision, which is going to be equal to the... Did I spell box collision correct? Collision box, so it's collision box. There we go. Okay, guys, I should actually work on my typos. Collision box, which is going to be equal to my create default. Let's go with default sub object. So there we go. Now my create default subobject. There we go. I'm gonna add... Okay, I'm gonna add a pair of ankle braces, and then let's go ahead and add a uStatic Okay, did I need a mesh component? This is not gonna be a mesh this time. Hi, Ding Brian. I appreciate you joining the stream. Bro, there are still more squiggly lines. That actually does make sense. Okay, let's go to my thing here. So, I gotta go ahead and create a U-box component. So, I'm gonna go ahead and add something like a U-box component. There we go. Let's go ahead and remove the extra space from there. And then I add a pair of parentheses and create something like a text. My text is going to be something like collision box. Let's go with collision box. Okay, perfect. And then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now, once I'm done with that, I want to point my collision box. Let's go with collision box to be pointing towards a few things. Okay, I buy new for my gaming setup. That actually does sound kind of cool. Okay, but it's very interesting to watch your lives. Honestly, is it? That actually means the world to me, guys. That's it now, my collision box. I gotta point it towards something. I gotta add an attachment as well. I forgot about that. I gotta make sure to always add attachments. Collision box is gonna be pointing towards collision enabled. Set collision enabled, set collision respond to all channels. ECR overlap. Okay, let's go one step at a time. Firstly, I'm gonna point this towards something like setup attachment. I'm going to go ahead and set up an attachment. Let's go with something like collision box is going to be pointing towards something like setup attachment. Okay, with a pair of parentheses, which in this case it is going to be my root component. Okay, and then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Now I'm going to go with something like collision. This is where I actually enable collision for my collision box. Okay, I'm going to be pointing my collision box towards something like set collision enabled. There we go. My collision enabled is going to be didn't have parameters. Okay, it has the E collision enabled which says query only. Okay, so I'm going to go with a pair of parentheses here. Let's go with something like a pair of parentheses. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this to something like E collision. This is going to be collision box. Let's go with something like box and then E collision, what's it E collision? E collision enabled query only. So E collision enabled. Okay, then I'm going to go with a scope resolution operator that says query only. There we go. Okay, then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Okay, that was not as hard, but all I gotta do is just memorize some of these syntaxes here. Next up, I'm going to go with something like another collision box. I mean, not another. I'm going to be pointing my collision box towards, let's say, towards set collision response to all channels. Okay, I got to break these things down as well. First thing that I got to break is like what everything here does. And then I got to go to my meet actor and break and see what everything here does as well. Then it's going to be much easier to write it if I know what they do. But for the time being, I want to learn the syntax. So set collision response to all channels is going to be ECR overlap. Okay, so set collision to all channels. Okay, which is going to be ECR overlap. Okay, did I spell it correct? Set collision response to all channels. Set collision response to all channels, which is going to be ECR overlap. ECR underscore overlap. Okay, now the scope resolution operator. Let's go with something like ECR underscore overlap. Okay, then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. This is for a new response. That is for a new type. So new type and new response. Congratulations for 100 days. Honestly, I appreciate you, cool engineer. That actually means the world to me, guys. Honestly, I feel like I'm glad I did not like add a goal by the end of my C++ for 100 series, because I feel even though I did understand C++, I feel like the real challenge comes with learning the syntax of like Unreal Engine. And guys, I'm out of food. Okay, maybe I think I just gotta like drink water to like stay filled. Okay, let's see. Now, once I'm done with set collision response to all channels, I'm going to go ahead and do something. Let's go ahead and go to my meet actor at C++. I got to set my collision box towards my set generative overlap events as well, which is going to be true. Set generative overlap events. Usually, I do this stuff in my editor. Like, I could actually like do that stuff in my Unreal Engine as well. but I feel that I have more control in my code type stuff because I will be using my code to actually merge the stuff, or not merge the stuff, do something if my collision box collided with something else. Do you know about training chatbots? I haven't learned that yet. Maybe I will learn that like once I start my chatbot series. Spoilers alert, guys. That might be my next series after my program for like 250 ACVs. Kind of excited for that, honestly. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and add something like, was it set generative overlap events? I'm gonna go with set generative overlap events. Okay, which is going to initially be set to something like true, ending with a semicolon. Fix my typo maybe. Set. There we go. Okay, set generative overlap events. Did I spell it wrong? Set GENERATIVE events. It's actually correct, guys. I did not think it's my typo this time. Maybe let's go ahead and copy this real quick just to see if it works or makes a difference. Somehow it was my spelling. Oh, not generative. It said generate. Set generate overlap event, not generative. It's just generate, and this is going to be true. Lowercase true. There we go. Okay, once I'm done with this, I gotta go ahead and most likely add one last thing in my constructor. This binds the event. I'm going to point my collision box to on component being overlap, okay, which is going to be using the dot add dynamics function, which requires this parameter, a meet actor on meet overlap. Okay, this part might be a bit more complicating. Try CloudX for DevOps. Honestly, I haven't like heard of DevOps, but I might actually look into that stuff. What's it about? Okay, so collision on component being overlapped, so I gotta go with something like my collision box. Let's go with something like collision box is going to be pointing towards on collision being overlapped. Let's go with being overlapped. Okay, on being overlapped. Okay, so it's not overlapped, it's overlapped. Okay, I'm going to use the dot, what was the function name? Dot add dynamic function. I'm going to use the dot add dynamic function. Okay, and guys, with like more complex code, I gotta like work more my typos on COLLISION, on collision BEING, on collision being overlap OBERLAP dot add dynamic. I'm going to require this parameter, and let's say something like A0 HP. That's my class name. 0 HP actor. Okay, maybe I go ahead and get this in the same line here. There we go. Okay, now I get this in a new line. Am I missing something here? Did I make a typo? So it's on component being overlapped. On component, not collision. On component being overlapped. COMPONENT being overlapped. I spelled it correct. On component begin overlap. It's begin, not being. Begin. Let's go with something like begin overlap. There we go. Okay, bro, please stop being gay and do something useful for once. Guys, being gay is kind of crazy. What you're doing is completely useless. Honestly, I won't like say it's useless. I feel it is like really helpful in like me understanding how the Unreal Engine works. Add dynamic. So I go with add dynamic. DYNAMIC. Okay, did I spell this correct? Oh, I see. So I'm gonna go to... Okay, let's go ahead and use my function name. So my function name that I created here was collision. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the scope resolution operator and add the collision function. Okay, then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Now, once I'm done this, I gotta go ahead and call my collision function. Okay, for an SDE tech role, you need to do DSA first. I see. Okay, nobody will ask you this in an interview. Honestly, guys, I wasn't like planning to go in an interview type stuff, but I feel like I do want to go over DSAs, but like might actually like have a separate series on that. Is your PC even capable of training your own AI training, especially using Transformer requires a good GPU, something like RTX 4000 series or high-end RTX 3000 series? Actually, I don't have a GPU for the time being because I actually didn't think that I would need that for programming, and also because it did like cost 200 bucks, guys. That said, whatchamacallit, I am using the GPU that is integrated inside of my motherboard, but before my actually creating a chatbot series, I might actually get a better GPU, guys. That's let's go to my actual C++. Now, under my begin play, I create a void method that requires the exact same parameters here, but it does something this time. Okay, I go with if other actor and other actor is not equal to this. Okay, I gotta check what this line means. Then I go with the UE log. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and copy my collisions method here. Let's go to my C++ file under my begin play. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this here. Okay, trigger component on component begin overlap dot dynamic. This your class should be in begin play. Should it actually? Wait, let me check. Okay, on component add dynamic this collision. Okay, this is gonna be the memory address. There we go. Okay, Lemon Yamar from Misha, guys. Lemon Yamar from Misha is kind of crazy. Okay, trigger components. Trigger component should be. Okay, I did not actually learn the trigger component. I might actually try adding that real quick. Okay, you're just doing this because you find it easy, but the stuff you need to do is not this for a fresher. I think the necessary stuff is actually beyond your small brain. Guys, I feel like this is nothing but I mean, this is like everything but easy, but I feel like the more we do stuff and pretend like it's easy, it becomes easy. So if you use integrated graphics card, then you can train a decent AI, create your chatbot with a pre-trained model via an API, or get a better GPU. I was trying to get a better GPU when my series is on. That said, okay, you might be falling, or you're an average student in your school and you're finding an escape here. Guys, I think I'm a freshman in college. That's it, binding the function to on component overlap. Delegates should be begin play. Okay, so apparently should I like get this part in my begin play? Because I could try that. Let's delete this from here. And guys, why is my begin play still showing a red underline? So let's see. Okay, should be in. Wait, should it be inside my begin play? Like right here? Okay, so collision box, so trigger component. Okay, so trigger component is going to be my collision box on component. Okay, I see. Okay, collision box on component should be in begin play. Okay, but this is useless stuff. Is never going to help you. Stop wasting time. I feel like it's not a waste of time. I just feel like it is like pretty good to even like learn this because I feel this is kind of interesting as well. That said, instead of going with a semicolon, I'm gonna go with the prof curly braces and then add an if statement. Let's say something like if other component. What was the okay? So if other component and other actor is not equal to this. So if my other component, okay, and my other actor, let's go with other actor, is not equal to this, then I'm going to go ahead and do something. In this case, my other component is going to be my actor component. Okay, and this is going to be other comp. Let's paste that here. If that is not equal to this, then I'm going to do something. I'm going to go ahead and add a UE log. So let's go with a UE log, where my category is going to be something like log temp. Let's go with log temp. And then let's see, also, what will you use to train the AI? Where you'll get your database? What language will you use? What library from that language will you use? Do you know how to train AI with transformers? Honestly, I have like almost zero experience when it comes to AI type stuff, but I feel like I might like have maybe a 300 series next. I don't know. It depends on like I might watch a few YouTube videos and like tutorials on how to actually do that stuff. Depending on that, I would like set my days. Binding any function should not be in constructor. Actually, that does make sense, but I don't think that I was binding this here, was I? I actually don't think I was binding it here. Because I feel I was just creating the stuff here, right? Because later on, once I'm done writing this once, I'm going to get like a detailed breakdown of like every single thing and the thing that it does here. That said, so my UE log has a component here. Let's go here. If other actor and other actor is not equal to this. If other actor, why are there two other actors? If other actor and other actor, let's copy actor. Okay, let's copy this, paste it here. So if actor component and actor component is not equal to this, I go with the UE log, which says me it wants to give me a warning text for my verbosity, and then the third one is going to be a I think it's like a F string. Okay, guys, I don't know why does Nightbot like these messages. So, okay, you were not binding it there. Oh, I see. Okay, let's see. Now, once I'm done with text. Okay, here's the thing. Did I like mess something up in this line? I added a pair of curly braces. I added an if statement. I added a pair of curly braces. UE log lock them. Okay, let's go ahead and say something like collided. I'm not going to be adding a huge text. I'll just say something like collided. There we go. Okay, dot dynamic. Okay, don't put in constructor. It should be in begin play. Is the binding function. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I think I see what it means by the binding function. Wait, let me actually try seeing if I actually understood this. So basically my 0 HP actor collision, this thing, it changes right here, and then in the next iteration, whenever my game begins, it's gonna be here. So my function is gonna be called once my game has been begin. If it was inside my constructor, it'd just be called once. That's it. Let's do something like control S to save the code, hit control S to save the code. Okay, and then let's go back here. Why are there so many red audio lines? I'm confused if it's just my editor or like I did actually make mistakes. Okay, I keep bumping it to your streams midstream. What are you building? Honestly, I am like actually working on collision events in SDL, actually in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That's it. I feel like I kind of understood what this means. I just gotta like learn the syntax and see what half the syntax means. Okay, damn, bro, it's on roasting spree, guys. Roasting spree is kind of crazy. Well, why salty against game dev? Did your parents allow you? Oh, let's see. You were binding it there. You should not bind it in constructor. Oh, I see. Okay, so it says failed. So it says that I failed somewhere. Guys, how did I even fail? Didn't I like have a reference at all times up here? Okay, so boolean constant f hit result. So my f hit result requires the memory address of sweep result. Engine types. My components are correct. Is my components correct? Okay, so engine types, and this is going to be from my components. I want to go ahead and load box component.h. Okay, maybe I go with control A, control C, copy that, get syntax/ChatGPT up here. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it, go with shift enter. Guys, I feel like my ChatGPT has gone way too laggy. I've been using this chat for like so many days now. Okay, okay, let's go ahead and paste this here as well. Go with shift enter and say something like say. I feel like something went wrong here, question mark. Okay, let's see. You're doing this useless since a long time. First of all, you're really slow. You should not be taking more than a month to do this. You have a small brain, so rather start something. Honestly, I don't think it's been a month because like I just spent like 6 days starting Unreal Engine. I think I started like 6 days ago. Okay, let's see. Useful early so people with a good brain don't overtake you in much less time. Guys, I feel like what you're calling going slow is better than not moving at all type stuff. That's it. Eventually, the more I actually keep doing this, I feel I'm going to get much better at this. That said, I see the chaos people. You're so close, but there are a few mistakes screaming at you. Let's break it down. Before you break yourself, your function is not a member function. In C++, right now, you're... Okay, in your C++ file, you wrote collision, but this isn't tied to your class. It should be a 0 actor collision, okay? Missing semicolon in header. Okay, I gotta add a semicolon there. Okay, UE log missing a semicolon. Gotta add a semicolon. Parameter naming. Just for clarity in Unreal, other actor. So it was basically just the semicolon mistakes here. Okay, so my UE log is missing a semicolon. First, let's add a semicolon here. Okay, I think function name is all correct. Let's go all the way up here. Okay, when I call my function, I'm gonna go with something like a 0 HP with a scope resolution operator. There we go, my UE log requires a semicolon here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, dude. What's with the roasting? He didn't do anything to you guys. That actually does make sense. First of all, you took more than 3 months to do C++. Honestly, because I feel like I started C++ and then I went to SDL, now I'm in Unreal Engine type stuff. Let's see. Because I think I understand C++. It's just the syntaxes from my SDL. Okay, it should actually take 3 days at max. Guys, I feel 3 days kind of crazy, bro. Imagine forgetting a semicolon. Guys, that's actually awfully embarrassing. Okay, where else did I forget a semicolon? Okay, did I mess something up with my UE log as well? Just so. Actor comp is confusing. It should be other actor to check your other actor and other actor, not this. Okay. And then a collision for my UE log. Okay, visible anywhere, component. But this isn't tied to your class. I see. Your function is not a member function in C++. Let's do something like Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code. Let's run the command. Let's run the code real quick. Okay, he's just starting sophomore year and he has time to learn. He can take his time. That actually does make sense. Okay, do you understand how slow your brain is compared to average people? So I think you're below average student. Guys, below average student is kind of crazy. Let's see. So it still says that I failed. Did I make a small mistake up here? Let's go with Control A, Control C. Let's get /ChatGPT back here. Let's go ahead and paste this. It feels like I already like, what should we call it? I think that I made I had a reference. How did I still mess this up? Okay, so let's go ahead and get /ChatGPT back here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with enter and see something like, let's say, I still feel something is wrong because I get a error. Guys, I feel like I actually do make much progress off stream because I watch tutorials and like I really doubts as well type stuff. Let's see. I see the kiosk people. There's still a few things screaming at you. Your C++ function naming is wrong. A 0 HP, but your class name is 0 HP actor. Guys, at this point, I just feel I'm making awful silly mistakes. Okay, make sure your header matches in C++. Okay, let's go with something like a 0 HP actor. Okay. There we go. That should like fix it. Let's just give it a second. Okay. So, bro, the typos is crazy, guys. I make so many typos. Okay, he got a good GPA. He's not below average. I've seen much worse coders and they're toppers. He takes his time but still understands in the end. That actually does make sense. That's it, guys. I am like I had a 4.0 GPA in my college. That was kind of cool though. There we go. It was just my function name that's wrong. Okay, let's see. So my function does run here. There we go. So it says 0 succeeded, 1 failed. Where did it fail? Let's see. So 0 actual collision. It says 0 succeeded, 1 failed. Okay, let's go all the way up here again. So there we go. Okay, so it says make sure your header and C++ match your function declaration in the header. Should use exactly the same parameters. Okay, overlap actor component, this is other actor, body index. Always check semicolons. Okay, so I added my semicolons. Okay, parameter names are confusing. Currently you wrote actor, other actor. So currently you wrote actor component instead of other actor. Unreal expects standard naming to match your U function. Okay, so I think I gotta like fix my standard naming. Let's go with something like other actor. Okay, this is the other component. Let's go with something like other actor. Okay, and then let's change this to something like other actor as well. So there we go. So I have 2 other actors. Now I have a log temp. Let's hit Control S to save the code, run the command. Okay, bro, why do you keep saying that does make sense unnecessarily? Honestly, because I feel like there's nothing else for me to like usually say. So it's like when I don't know what to say, I just say that does make sense. Unless it actually makes sense. That's a place where it's kind of confusing to understand what I mean. Okay, yeah, I can say he's doing pretty useless stuff. Am I? Okay, let's see. Maybe I go here and I just copy my function from here. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this. Okay, I'm just going to be changing the names. Let's go to my header files because I want to see if... Okay, wait. In my header files. So there we go. Let's go ahead and copy this U function. Okay, and then here my U function does not have a semicolon. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this here to change my function name. I'm going to call this something like collision. Okay, there we go. Now, once I'm done with this collision, I'm going to go all the way here. Let me go ahead and copy this part. Okay, and then go inside here and paste this part here. There we go. I changed my function names and it is called collision now. It's other actor. Okay, let's hit something like Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code. If I run the command and see what happens. And guys, if it didn't work this time, I might actually watch a few tutorials off stream. Why do I keep getting a compilation error? Is it my typos? Did I have spelling mistakes? Collision. It's correct. Okay, where is it that I messed up? Think. Okay. Then you're contradicting yourself when you say that does make sense. Oh, I see. Okay, okay, bro, not everyone has a cracked fang. It's pretty boring there, to be honest. It actually does make... Wait. Guys, I should actually stop saying that does make sense because I get confused when it actually makes sense. Okay, why don't you just use your... Why don't you just mind your own business? Okay, let's see. Okay, I see 0 components. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code again. Maybe before it was just like... Okay, it said result failed. I might actually at this point... Oh wait, could it be in my Unreal Engine? Where's my box? Let's hit Control Alt F11 real quick. Wait, will I get like... How does it say result succeeded here, but it says result failed in my constructor here? That does not make sense, guys. Okay, let's see. I think it's just my IDE that's messing up. I see my box component here, so everything is created properly, guys. Was it just my C++ all along that's messing up? I mean, my editor that was messing up. Let's hit something like R. I want to go ahead and extend this. There we go. Okay, that should be pretty good. Okay, now, let me go ahead and click this. Go with something like W. I want to go with something like my box component. Okay, my meet actor. Let's go with my collision box. Okay, wait, I think I need it for my 0 HP's this collision box. There we go. I want to go a bit more to the back. There, that looks much better. Now, if I were to go ahead and hit something like Control Alt F11 to patch my code, and I'm going to be running the code this time to actually check if it's working, because I feel it was like my Visual Studio like all along, like my code was correct. Let's run the code. Everything works. I don't know why was my compilation failing in my editor. There we go. I'm being blocked by this collision here. Okay, let's go a bit back, hit something like Shift F1, open my output log. It works. I don't know why was I getting an error in my IDE. Guys, is this just like my IDE's fault? Okay, Ayoshi is just real salty because his parents didn't allow him to make games. Oh, I see. Okay, that's let's see. Okay, go. Okay, do not comment since they aren't quite wrong, but also not right. I see. Okay, let's see. So basically, it was all correct. It was just my IDE that was messing up. If I run the code, does it say success this time? I keep getting compilation failure, but it apparently is not actually failed. Let's try rebuilding my solution. Because since it actually worked perfectly in my Visual Studio, it doesn't make sense that it doesn't work here. Okay, and DSA is pretty useless for 95% of programming. I see. Obviously, don't believe him having a life such loser moves. Huh. Okay. There we go. Okay, did it succeed? I think it succeeded this time. 50 to succeed is 0 failed. Guys, it actually works. I don't know why was it wrong when I like directly run my code. Guys, I think it's just my Visual Studio that's messing up. That said, I feel like it did work. I might practice some of this, off stream as well, because I feel like I might want to watch tutorials to understand, like, break down the specific topics and all that stuff. Like, what does every single concept here does. So I might actually end the stream right now. That said, you should only run from Unreal. I see. Like, don't run the code from Visual Studio. Oh, I see. Okay, is that the reason that I get the error there? Okay, do any of you guys have a job or intern at least? Okay, that's it. Let's say something like Sensei. It works! Exclamation. Okay, that said, let's go with something like That said, I feel like I might read some docs and watch a few tutorials to understand this topic much better off stream. Okay, although before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Challenge is crazy, guys. Actually, it does make a lot of sense. Okay, I'm not in college yet. Calm down. Guys, I feel like whatchamacallit, I'm kind of excited. My college is going to start again. That's it. That might actually push my stream hours 2 hours ahead. Like usually I stream like at my 12 p.m. But I might stream at my 12, yeah, at my 12 p.m. I think a.m. I think I stream at my 12 a.m. But I'm going to be pushing that to like after 1:20 a.m. or something like that, or my around 2 p.m. or something. I'm gonna add a community post for that, like saying the actual CST time depending on my college hours. That's listen up, viewers. Today you watch people make turn chaos into order, collision, overlaps, and messy code made to work. Remember this: learning is a battle, and not every error is. And every error is just a step towards mastery. If you think you're struggling, good. That means you're growing. Keep pushing, keep breaking things, and keep fixing them. And Vivek, don't just leave it here. Read, watch, practice. I expect you to know this like the back of your hand. Next time, now go off stream, dig deep, and make the code yours. Okay, let's go to my gameplay screen. Actually, let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. That's it. I am going to be working more on this off-stream reading docs, watching a few tutorials and all that stuff. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like, helps my algorithm, sharing makes you smile, and subscribing so you get your top. That's it guys, I did start montage stream on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. I will start montage stream on TikTok and Instagram as well if I did meet the followers requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description. And also join the Discord server. That's where I usually talk to you guys, chat with you guys, give you guys my roadmap, and do all the general stuff. That said, let me go down here real quick. Okay, lol, you're really weird. Yes, I work, but but why it matters to you here making a pissing contest? Do it somewhere else. Okay, that said, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.